NIOS welcomes you in this educational video for subject Library and Information Science, code number 339. This video is for senior secondary level. In this video, we will be doing lesson number 4. Name of the lesson is 5 Laws of Library Science. In our previous video, we had discussed few laws. This video is part 2 of this lesson series. This is the content which we already covered in our video part 1. So this is the summary which we covered in part 1. In part 1, we covered 5 laws of library. This is the first law, that books are for use. We know that in library we have different subjects books which are available. So all those books are for the use. So this is the first law. Now the second law states that every reader his book. According to this law, each reader, irrespective of age, gender, caste, interest, they can have a respective book. The third law states that every book its reader. Because each person's interest and requirement of the books may vary, so according to the reader's need, every book can have its reader. Fourth law states that libraries save the time of the readers. If a user has any query, then the library staff and the tools which are being used in the library, they can solve the query of the user, and so it saves the time of the reader. Fifth law states that library is a growing organism. Day by day, there are different libraries being set up and the network of libraries is growing. So that is why library is a growing organism. All these are 5 laws which we already covered in our previous video. We recently discussed the 5 laws. Those 5 laws were suggested by the Ranganathan. He is known as father of library. Because he was the first person who talked about the concept of library science and about the 5 laws of library. And recently in the year 1992, Jim Thompson, he revised all those 5 laws and reiterated all those 5 laws in the new modern format. So on screen you can see all the modern revised 5 laws. So first law states that books are for profit, because people gain knowledge by reading the books. The second law talks about the reader, and every reader has his bill, because every reader contributes in the formation of the library in a way. Third law states that every copy its reader, because sometimes we have different copies of a particular book and In case we have more copies in the library, then each copy can have its own reader. The fourth law states that take the cash from the reader. This is the kind of fine which is taken from the user who sometime when is not able to return the books on the mentioned time, then some amount of money is given to the library in the form of cash. Fifth law states that library is a growing organism. So all these 5 laws, these are the modified laws. In addition to the previous 5 laws which we just discussed, in addition to those 5 laws, the 2 different persons whose name was Kuronen and Pekkarinen, they suggested for the 2 supplementary laws which are called as 6th and 7th law, in addition to the Ranganathan's 5 laws. So the 6th law states that very reader, his library. In this, now as we know that there's new technology and technological advancement is coming up, and accordingly different forms of books are available, CDs form, PDF form, soft copy. So as per the need of the user, the books can be made available. 7th law states that every writer, his contribution to the library. It says that there are many authors who are writing different books on various topics, so they are kind of contributing in the library. In the year 1998, Michael Gorman and Wade Crawford, they both focused on the validity of the 5 laws and suggested 5 new laws as an extension of the first 5 laws. And the first law states that libraries serve humanity. The second law talks about respect in all forms by which knowledge is communicated. Because we know that there are different forms through which we can gain knowledge, like nowadays we have audio format, video format. For different kinds of people with disability, like some blind people, they use the audio format of the books and audio knowledge, and the deaf people, they need the video knowledge. So accordingly, respect all the forms by which knowledge is communicated. The third law states that use technology in an intelligent way, intelligently, to enhance services. So it is important that all the library staff should use the technology intelligently so that the users can gain the knowledge and the services in an adequate way. The fourth law says the fourth law talks about protecting free access to knowledge. So that everyone can have easy access to the books, and the knowledge which is being provided by the library. So protection is the main concern of this fourth law. The last fifth law states that honor the past and create the future. That we should all respect our old time and the knowledge and the type of books, the type of libraries which were available. And nowadays, with the change of time, there is new modification and newness in everything as we are creating the future. So we should respect the past also, the present also, and the future also. So it is important to honor the past and create the future. With the passage of time in the year 2004, Ali Reza Norouzi applied Ranganathan's 5 laws to the web in his paper. And in his paper, the name of the paper was Application of Ranganathan Law to the Web. So the first law is web resources are for use. The second law states every user his or her web resources. There are various kinds of user who come to library. So according to their need, the resources can be provided in the audio form or the video form. Every web resource has its user. Fourth law states that save the time of the user. The fifth law states the web is a growing organism. So these 5 laws, these were the laws suggested by the Ali Reza Norouzi in the year 2004. And then in the year 2008, another person, Carol Simpson, he revised these 5 laws and applied them in the field of media. And according to that application, he made some modifications in the year 2008. Let us have a look at those 5 modifications. The first point explains that media are for use. The second revised law talks about the patron and the information. It states that every patron has his or her information. The third application of law talks about every medium has its user. The third law talks about every medium has its user. Fourth law talks about saving the time of the patron. And the fifth law talks about library as a growing organism. Because library is something, it grows as per the need of the situation and as the users demanded. So these are the 5 laws according to the field of media. Break.
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने हम
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो
मित्रों हम पढ़े और जागे
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी बातें
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात
कोई मन चाहा
we were discussing the 5 laws. You can see the headline on the screen. We were talking about 5 laws. In this slide, we are talking about the modern libraries and the 5 laws. In nowadays automated libraries, we have different softwares which are being used in the libraries, like OPAC. OPAC means Online Public Access Catalog. OPAC fulfills all the laws of the library science. So, by sitting at the computer terminal, any user can search the entire collection of the library and also gets to know if the required document is available in the library or not. It is such a powerful tool which is being used in library for the quick service. And with the help of OPAC, any user can reserve a book, can recommend a new title to be purchased, and can also renew a borrowed book. So it is possible with the help of this OPAC. And if it is web OPAC, it means if it is connected with the help of internet, then this OPAC tool can access the library collection from anywhere, anytime. That means it can be made available 24 hours on all days of the week. And any user, by sitting at any corner of the country or at any corner of the world, can have easy access in the library books. So web OPAC is important. Here the library goes to the user instead of the user coming to the library. It is just the opposite of the user going to the library. And nowadays, library networking has brought the collection of various libraries together in the form of a union catalog of resources. Because many libraries are interconnected, with the help of this networking services. For example, in DELNet stands for Developing Library Network. It has the resources of over 4,000 libraries, which are all accessible to its user from its website, and the website address is available on the screen. So anyone can easily access it with the help of online services. Its website ID is www.delnet.nic.in. These are some more websites. You can easily have a look at all these websites with the help of search engine. They are all readily available libraries. So far we have understood the introduction part of this part 2 video. We already covered the part 1 video in our last week's 1 hour video session. We discussed about the 5 laws of library and we covered the whole chapter. Now in this glossary part we have covered the new words from this chapter. We will be understanding all those new words. The first word is catalog. It is a list of documents available in the library which is arranged according to scheme of classification or any other sequence. The second word is classified arrangement. In classified arrangement, books are arranged on shelves subject-wise along with related subject in consecutive row. So classified arrangement of the books helps the user search the book in an easy manner. Third point is filiatory sequence. Filiatory sequence is a kind of library collection. Library collection when arranged subject wise and it is placed on shelves for use in the library. Library classification is a system that arranges the documents in filiatory sequence. In this context, filiatory sequence refers to arrangement of documents in a subject and its subordinate concepts without any interference. Point 4. Objective time. Objective time is the time which is actually spent in the library. Point number 5. Open access system. In this system, a reader is allowed to select books of his or her choice or interest among the books from open shelves. Point 6. Reference service. Reference service is provided in anticipation and on demand by the library to its users. And on demand by the library to its user. In this service, a user is either given an answer to his or her query or is provided with the document. So till now we have covered the chapter. From here onwards we will be doing the in-text question. These in-text questions are under the section 4.1. So we have questions and answers. Question 1. Who formulated the 5 laws of library science? There are 4 options given. You have to choose the correct option out of given 4 options. Let us have a look at the answer. So B is the correct answer. The 5 laws were formulated by the S.R. Ranganathan. Question number 2. In this question, you have to write a brief note on the implication of first law on book section. So this is the first law explained. The first law says that books are for use, and books can be used only if the library selects appropriate books as per demand and choice of the users. The book selection should meet the needs of the present and potential users of library. Worn out and obsolete books should be weeded out from the library collection from time to time. Therefore, a library should select and procure books by taking due consideration of the first law of library science. Books are for use. Now, in-text questions from the section 4.2. Question number 1 under this section. This is also the MCQ type question. You have one question and you have to choose the correct option out of the 4 options available. The second law emphasizes on dash of library services to every kind of reader. So you have to choose the right answer. The first option is liberalization, second is democratization, third is socialization, and fourth is polarization. So the correct option is democratization. The second law emphasizes on democratization of library services to every kind of reader. Next question. Write a short note on the implication of second law of library science in about 150 to 200 words. Have a look at the answer. The second law emphasizes on the user and states that books are not only for use, but books are also for all. It advocates that every reader has equal right of access to knowledge, whatever the age, the sex, the vocation he or she belongs. Books are not the monopoly of one man or group or section of the society. It emphasizes on democratization of the library services. Now we have questions, in-text questions from part 4.3. The question 1. What are the implications of third law of library science on open access? Write a short note. Open access system helps in achieving the objectives of third law of library science. In this system, books are arranged in an open shelves in classified order, and readers have a lot of freedom to see books according to their choice, needs, and interest. Next question. Why do we need classified arrangement of books to find every book its reader? Give your answer in not more than 50 words. So this is the answer which you can see on screen. We need classified arrangement of books to find every book its reader because in this system, books on shelves are arranged in classified sequence based on their contents so that related subjects may also appear. It increases the use of library collection by the reader at a time. It is also necessary for that book which is taken out from the shelves that it should be again filed back at the right place and be available to the next reader. Now we have in-text question from section 4.4. Question number 1. It says, enumerate any 3 time-saving devices according to fourth law of library science? Let us have a look at the answer. The 3 time-saving devices, according to the 4th law of library science, are the first one is the open access. The second one is the reference service. And the third one is stack room guide. Question number 2. Where and why do branch libraries prove useful for the user? In the big cities and metropolis, branch libraries can serve users at different parts of the city. Similarly, rural areas can make optional use of branch libraries. Now in text question from the section 4.5. This is question number 1. How can you compare a library to growing organism? Let us have a look at the answer. A library is a growing organism and its size grows because universe of knowledge is ever growing and coming up with new subjects from time to time. Every library grows in size regarding books, periodicals, book racks, physical form of catalog, in the card form, and so on. So that is why we call library as the growing organism. Next question number 2. What are the implications of 5th law of library science on the size of a library? Let us have a look at the answer. A library building should be planned on a short-term basis, keeping in view the present and future requirements of people who use the library. In text question from section 4.6. Question 1. What do you understand by modern version of laws in different contexts? In the modern version of laws, in various contexts, S.R. Ranganathan's 5 laws have been reinterpreted and reused or reworded in various contexts by the authors and philosophers of library science. And James R. Rating, he even devised the 6th law of library science. The 6th law, which is suggested by him, is every reader his freedom in 1992. So this is the sixth law. So far we have understood the lesson. We have also done the vocabulary, also in text questions. I hope you all enjoyed the lesson and able to answer all the questions. Thank you. Namaskar.